Welcome back to Property Play. I'm your host, Elena Saradidis, and today I'm with Anita from Tridel, and we're talking all about smart sizing. People find there's a negative connotation towards downsizing, and Tridel has marketed a new term. I'm going to say you guys did it. I'm sure you guys did it.
More specifically, our VP sales.
Yes. It's called smart sizing. It's what is the best kind of product for you to move into after you're done with a larger property. Is that right? You're gonna teach me about smart sizing.
Well, listen, back a few years ago when Winston and I, we were in a seminar. And so we were just talking about smart sizing back then. And so the way that he described it, it really resonated with the audience. When you are smart sizing, you're thinking, okay, well, right now you live in maybe 3,000 square foot home or 2,500 square foot home. Thinking about coming into 1,000 square feet or 1,500 square footage of a space, it can sound a little bit negative, of course, but the way that he described it was actually, it's just really stuck in my mind, and I know that the consumers really resonated with that. When you're at home, which rooms do you use the most on a daily basis? It's really your living room, your kitchen, maybe the family room to watch TV. Now, what happens to the guest room, the basement, and all the other spaces that we have in our home?
Empty.
Right? You go there, I go there, because I'm not there yet to smart size. We'll be soon. But I go there just to make sure I dust that space, right? So the space is really not being used. So in reality, how much space are we actually using within our own home, regardless of how big it is, right? So when you come into a condominium, you then are actually using the space that you're living in. So if it's 1,500 square footage, just ensuring that, you're looking into a condominium that has a nice flow to the space, that has limited wasted space, and that the spaces are functional. So, smart sizing is really a lifestyle. And so we're seeing a huge uptake across the board within all of our communities across Tridel, specifically over the last year and a half or two, where there are a number of individuals that have been planning to have a lifestyle change and to smart size into condominium, specifically for lifestyle change. They are wanting to travel more. It's a turnkey. The security's there. But they don't want to really compromise on space. And that is, we have a lot of beautiful communities that offers you all of those conveniences and the space that you're looking for.
So there was a period in time where developers were building a lot of smaller units to tier towards investors or first-time home buyers, let's say. Mm-hmm. Do you find maybe Tridel or developers as a whole are moving towards larger units now because that's the buying pool?
They're definitely putting a huge focus into that right now. But I do want to talk a little bit about Tridel. So over the last number of decades, we really never really focused on micro units within our condos. Even our urban condos, for instance, at 470 Front Street West, we do have our 1 bedrooms, 1+ dens, and into 2 bedrooms, but we also have 3 bedrooms. With 2.5 bath and beautiful views. So the suite designs, when we look at each of our buildings, we make sure that we're not bringing in a development that is focused on a higher ratio of micro units. Diversity is a big factor within our designs and the sizes of space that we build within our condos. So in reality right now, what we have available is very much in line with what the market is asking for. And so I absolutely love it. We've been, believe it or not, we've been very busy. And so the biggest factor right now for us is awareness. We have about 7 buildings that are taking occupancy over the next several months. And so the inventories that we do have available, which is, of course, not that much, because we must be, as we mentioned earlier before the segment, we must be about 70-80% sold, so that we can go ahead and move forward with building the building. So what we do have currently, we are finally able to walk with you and your client and show you the various opportunities within our communities across the board.
So something that was interesting, and I can't remember the development, but I know it's a Tridel development. You guys have presented to me about it, but there's now customization options. So like say you are buying, I think back to golf course. Do you know which development I'm talking about?
So we noticed customization requests happening over the last little bit, more so. We have our Royal Bayview community, which is taking occupancy later this year. That building is well over 90% sold, but we noticed that there were a lot of homeowners looking to personalize their home, whether it's combining suites or looking at the floor plan when we launched and making modifications. It's really personalizing the space that fits their lifestyle. So that seems to be trending. We have a new project that we're working on launching, hopefully in the next little bit. But that particular building, Bayview Woods, we are exploring the same opportunities to see, where and how we can accommodate the consumers that are looking to personalize their home.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that, because I feel that the hesitation with a lot of people that are smart sizing is how I'm going to lose space, or how am I going to fit all my things, or I like certain things the way that they are in my property. I want the kitchen closed. I want it open. I want a bigger island. I want whatever. And to be able to tell the consumer, you can get whatever you want here. You might not be ready for it yet, but by the time it's built, you don't know what will happen in 5 years, 6 years down the line, but you can make your plan now. And by the time it's built, then you move over.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. And so this is the new projects that we are launching in the future. But even within our existing communities, like our Aqualuna community, or here, the Wow Signature, building, this really resonates quite a bit with a lot of our prospects that are looking for smart sizing. And there isn't an actual geographic spot that they're coming from, meaning the people that have actually made the purchases and they're calling the Wow Signature home right now. So coming into this building, what they actually love the most is this is a very exclusive, intimate setting, 98 units. Our suites right now, the smallest is almost 1,500 square footage, all the way up to 2,500 square feet. But the building was about 1,200 square footage, all the way to 3,200 square feet when we did launch the building. And so we had a number of individuals buying the Signature building back 4 or 5 years ago when we launched the project. And so that's what they did, was they're pre-planning the next stage of their life, to your point. But currently, there are some individuals that rather come and see the space. And, the Well, for instance, is 98 units, 50 different floor plan variations. And so this means that when you're bringing in a client, for instance, Elena, our job is really to first understand the priorities of your client, and then take you out for a tour and walk through each of the different suite designs and find them one that really works with what they're looking for. And convenience is really the key for this building specifically. You have an intimate building. As soon as you walk right outside the door, everything is at your doorstep.
If you forgot groceries, you can just go downstairs and get them. You need a coffee, it's walking distance. It's one of my favorites. If you need to visit me, I'm down the street. It's very, very convenient. You're not wrong about that. One of my favorite things about the Signature units, because you have walked me through a couple of them, they have laundry rooms. I know that sounds like it's such a small thing, but okay, but we're talking about condo living. How many condos have actual laundry rooms? That's not something that I see every day, and I transact in Toronto. This is a beautiful feature.
Laundry rooms, pantries, the focal point of even our home. Even when I was purchasing my own home, the kitchen, making sure that you have enough storage, because some of us actually are quite attached to some of the
things.
items that actually are in our kitchen cabinets that we don't want to get rid of. So yes, storage is a big deal. And that's what you would have also noticed is you have the laundry room. It's an actual room and you have lots of storage space within that laundry room.
I'm going to say this. The laundry room is bigger than my brother's den growing up. I'm a condo kid. Anita, do you know that about me? I'm a condo kid. The laundry rooms here at the Well are bigger than where my brother grew up, what his room looked like. No, but it's true. They're really sizable rooms. Like there is storage here. And like the biggest factor when it comes to someone choosing to smart size or choosing for a different lifestyle switch right now is where do I put all my stuff?
Right.
And that's a conversation no matter what type of price point they're in, no matter what they're looking for. Every time we walk in, what's the most important factor? Storage.
Right.
Storage and layout. That's what we talk about in every property we show.
Yeah.
Does the layout make sense? And is there enough storage?
Right.
And if you haven't done this, have you ever done this when you were shopping for yourself? Opened up all the cabinets and been like, does everything fit here?
Right. This is it.
But people ask, like, does it fit?
Absolutely. So coming into these condos, you're really not compromising a whole lot. In fact, you're coming into new space and it is the space that you actually use within your home.
That's the best saying. I'm stealing that, just so you know. Tell Winston this too. I'm stealing that line. I'm going to be like, how much of your home do you actually use? Let's find a square footage that matches the home that you actually use.
That's right.
And you'd be surprised how little the square footage actually is.
This is it. Yeah.
Once again, it's Elena Saradidis. Today I had Anita with, oh my God, I fully blanked. Anita from Tridel with me today. We talked all things The Well and smart sizing, and we can't wait for you to check out the next episode. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.